If schools matter to your family, don't skip this video. Willoughby works well for a lot of families, but it's not one size fits all, and a big part of that comes down to how the schools are structured. In my previous video to launch off the Willoughby series, I shared a big picture overview of the neighborhood, how Willoughby is laid out, and who typically lives here. In this video, we're going to zoom in on the school side, and I'll be talking about how the grade structure works, which schools serve Willoughby, what's happening in the school year of 2027, and share common questions parents tend to ask when planning a move here. I'm Jamie Lee, your local realtor and educator, and this channel is all about helping families understand Langley schools, neighborhoods, and what those choices actually mean for your day-to-day life. In neighborhoods like Walnut Grove, families tend to make one main school decision early on. They look at what K-7 elementary school they're in, then what high school that elementary school feeds into. And once that's decided, things tend to stay pretty stable, but Willoughby works a little differently. This is one of the fastest growing areas in the school district. Year after year, enrollment has been increasing and the district has been trying to play catch up, building new schools, adding new seats, and adjusting boundaries as population grows. What this means for families is kids transition earlier, schools are more age specific, new schools like Josette Dandrin, which is an elementary school, opened up the school year of 2025 and 2026, and there's another major middle and secondary campus coming to the Smith area in 2027. All those factors directly affect how families decide where to move and when to make a move. Now this next part is a piece that surprises a lot of families, especially if you're coming from a different part of Langley. Here's how the grade structure works in Willoughby. There are 7 elementary schools that run from kindergarten to grade 5, 2 middle schools that run from grade 6 to grade 8, and 1 high school that runs from grade 9 to 12. This is different from many Langley neighborhoods that still follow the K-7 elementary model, with high school starting in grade 8. What this means in real life is that kids in Willoughby transition earlier. Some families really like that because schools are designed specifically for each age group. Other families want to think carefully about those extra transitions before choosing a neighborhood. Neither is right or wrong, it's just something you want to understand before you buy. Here are the main kindergarten to grade 5 elementary schools that serve families on the Willoughby slope. Josette Dandrin Elementary is the newest school in Willoughby that opened for the 2025-2026 school year in the Northeast Latimer area. It was built to help relieve crowding and has space for roughly 550 to 560 students. The school was designed with bright, flexible learning spaces and serves a very diverse community with many different home languages represented. It's named in honor of a respected Kwantlen First Nation elder, which gives the school a strong focus on culture, inclusion, and reconciliation. Willoughby Elementary is a large K-5 school right in the heart of Willoughby and serves well over 650 students. It's in one of the fastest growing parts of the township, so it's definitely a busy school, but families often talk about the strong school spirit and the effort staff put into keeping the environment calm, positive, and welcoming. It really functions as a neighborhood hub. Richard Bulpit Elementary serves much of the Yorkson area and was built specifically for this growing community. One thing families really appreciate here is the Neighborhood Learning Center, which offers preschool, before and after school care, and programs like Active Kids. Having childcare and community programs right on site makes day-to-day life a lot easier for many families. Donna Gabriel Robbins Elementary is a newer K-5 school located along the 204th Street corridor, right in the middle of ongoing development. It has a large and diverse student population, and families often describe the culture as very collaborative. A real, we're figuring this out together approach as the neighborhood continues to grow around it. Lynn Phipps Elementary serves parts of Yorkson and surrounding areas and combines newer facilities with a strong sense of community. The school recently added about 150 new seats to keep up with enrollment, and parents often mention the active pack and the school's focus on creating a nurturing environment, especially for younger learners. R.C. Garnett Demonstration Elementary is closer to the 200th Street side of Willoughby. As a demonstration school, it often pilots teaching practices and hosts visitors who are interested in learning and instruction. Families tend to like its smaller neighborhood feel while still being very close to commuter routes, shopping, and everyday amenities. Langley Meadows Community School serves family along Willoughby Way and the eastern edge of the slope. This This is a true community school model with lots of wraparound programming. Through the Langley Meadows Community Association, the site offers out-of-school care, affordable after-school programs, family events, and even a breakfast club. So it really acts as a hub for both learning and community life. Which elementary a family is assigned to really comes down to exact address and current catchment boundaries, which is why mapping your location in Willoughby is so important. After grade 5, students move on to middle school for grade 6 to 8. Right now, Willoughby is served by Peter Hewitt Middle and Yorkson Creek Middle. Yorkson Creek Middle School is located right on the Willoughby slope and follows a true middle school model for grades 6 to 8. A big focus here is helping students feel connected and supported during those transition years. You'll often hear the school talk about relationships, belonging, and a real culture of care. They even have dedicated spaces like the Wolf Den, where students can go when they need extra support or a quieter environment. Academically, the school balances classroom learning with technology, athletics, and leadership opportunities, which is why it's such a popular choice for Willoughby families. Peter Hewitt Middle School is another modern grades 6 to 8 option serving the Willoughby area. It was built with the growing community in mind and recently went through a major expansion and seismic upgrade, adding 11 new classrooms and space for about 275 more students. That brings the school's capacity to roughly 900 students. Families often like Peter Hewitt for its tech-forward, project-based approach with programs like robotics, coding, and digital media alongside strong music, leadership, and athletics. The recent expansion also means more local students are able to attend without being redirected to other schools. At the high school level, Willoughby students currently attend RE Mountain Secondary, which serves much of Willoughby Slope today. RE Mountain Secondary is currently the main high school serving Willoughby and is home of the Eagles. It's a modern, 3-story school built for a growing community, with space for roughly 1,700 students. The building was designed with flexibility in mind, so you'll see adaptable classrooms, 2 full gyms, an open-style theater, outdoor learning areas, and direct access to nearby turf fields. One thing that really sets RE Mountain apart is that it's Langley's IB World School. It's the only high school in the district that offers the International Baccalaureate program. Students can enter a pre-IB stream in grades 9 and 10, and then continue into the full IB diploma in grades 11 and 12. For academically focused students, this can mean a more rigorous program and in some cases, university transfer credits down the road. But the biggest change on the horizon is what's happening in the Smith area. The new Smith campus, which will include a middle school and a secondary school, is expected to open fall of 2027. Together, those 2 schools are planned to serve close to 3,000 students, which means there will almost certainly be catchment boundary changes for families in the Willoughby Slope, not just at the middle and secondary level, but also for some elementary feeder schools. Right now, the district is in the community consultation phase. They're actively inviting families to learn about the process, timelines, and to share early feedback before any boundaries are even proposed. The first round of meetings is focused on explaining how the process works, what the timeline looks like, and hearing initial input from families. At this stage, no boundary changes are being shown. It's really about shaping options. A second round of meetings will happen later, where the district will share any proposed changes, answer questions, and gather more feedback. Once everything is finalized and approved by the Board of Education, the updated catchments will be shared with all affected school communities. The district is encouraging families to the RE Mountain family of schools and really anyone in the Willoughby Slope to stay informed and take part, either by attending info sessions in person or watching the recorded presentations online if you can't make it out. And if you want to review the presentation slides yourself, I've linked them directly in the video description below, so you can look through the process and timelines in more detail at your own pace. The big takeaway here is that if you have kids in Willoughby now, or you're planning a move in the next few years, this is worth paying attention to because these decisions will shape school pathways moving forward. In Willoughby especially, it's important to think a few years ahead because an address that feeds one school today could feed a different one once a new campus opens up. All right, now let's go over some top parent frequently asked questions. And in this section, if I make reference to a website or a tool or a resource, you can find these links in my description below. Which schools would my kids go to from this address? This is by far the most common question parents ask, and the honest answer is, it depends. It comes down to 3 things: your exact address, your child's grade, and the year they're starting. In Willoughby, 2 homes just a street or 2 apart can actually feed into different different elementary or middle schools, and that's become even more important with the new Smith campus opening in 2027. The best place to start is the SD35 school locator and interactive catchment map. And if you're buying pre-construction or planning ahead, it's also worth asking how future boundary changes might line up with your move-in date. Will catchments change when the new schools open? Absolutely, and this is really important to understand. The district is already talking with families about future boundary changes connected to the new Smith Middle and Secondary schools. In past boundary changes, there's often been some form of grandfathering where students who are already enrolled can usually finish at their current school. However, younger siblings or new students may fall under the new boundaries. That's why it's important to read district updates carefully and reach out if you're unsure how a change applies to your family. Can we choose a different school than our catchment? In most cases, your catchment school has first priority. That's the school the district guarantees a spot at as long as you register on time. Transfers can be possible, but they depend on space, staffing, and the rules for that school year. In Langley, this is called a cross-boundary request. You still register at your catchment school first and then apply to the school you're hoping to transfer into. The receiving school looks at things like how full they already are, program needs, and whether they can safely take more students. Decisions usually come out closer to June, but there's no guarantee, especially in fast-growing areas like Willoughby. So the safest assumption is always your catchment unless a transfer has been approved. What about French immersion or choice programs? Unfortunately, Willoughby schools themselves don't host French immersion or fine arts choice programs. Those programs are offered at specific schools across the district instead. Langley offers both early and late French immersion, along with programs like fine arts, fundamental, Montessori, and other district-wide options. Any Langley student can apply, but spots are limited. Admission is usually through an online application, and if there are more applicants than seats, placement is done by lottery, not first come first served. Families can typically apply up to 2 programs, and applications open months before the program actually starts. Because some families choose to commute for these programs, it's important to check which schools host the program, what grade your child would enter, and whether the commute and bell schedule realistically fit into your daily routine. The most accurate information is always on the choice program registration page on the Langley School District website or by calling the school or district office directly. What if my child is already in elementary when catchments change? Well, in past boundary changes, the district has often allowed students who are already enrolled at a school to stay there until they finish that level. New boundaries usually apply to incoming students or younger siblings. You'll sometimes hear this called grandfathering, and it's something Langley has used before when new schools or additions open. Typically, the change starts with a specific intake year. For example, new kindergarten or grade 1 students may be directed to the new catchment school, while current grade 2 to 5 students are given the option to stay. Siblings can be treated differently depending on the plan, which means one child might remain while a younger sibling starts at a new school. This entire school structure and all the changes coming is the reason 2 houses just a few blocks apart can feel very different for families. Once you understand the school system, choosing the right pocket of Willoughby becomes that much easier. If you have any questions about Willoughby schools or you want help understanding catchments for a specific address, feel free to leave a comment or book a time with me using the link below in my description. I'm happy to chat over coffee, tea, by phone, or on Zoom and help you line up the right neighborhood, the right school path, and the right timing for your move. I also share school updates, catchment information, and district notices on my Facebook community page, so you're welcome to join us there if you want to stay ahead of changes. Thanks for tuning in, and it would mean a lot to me if you subscribe, and let's continue to explore Langley, where learning meets living.